She was just trying to get to work, carrying breakfast in one hand, hope in the other. But one reckless splash, one mocking laugh from a rich woman behind tinted glass, turned her morning into a nightmare. The mud on her uniform wasn't the worst part. It was the way she laughed. What she didn't know was that someone powerful had seen everything. And this time, silence had no chance. It was barely morning. The sky hung low, heavy with gray, and last night's rain still lingered in puddles across the broken sidewalks. Emma Davis walked with care, holding a small paper bag in one hand, a pair of cleaning gloves in the other. Her navy uniform was clean, but fraying at the seams, and her sneakers had lost their fight with time. But her stride held purpose. She couldn't be late again. A sudden roar cut through the silence. A white SUV came flying down the road, engine growling like it owned the city. Emma turned her head just in time to see the wheels slice through a deep puddle. The blast of muddy water hit her like a slap. Soaked from head to toe. Face, chest, bag, hair. Her body flinched. Her pride didn't. The SUV didn't stop. The tinted window rolled halfway down, revealing a sleek, laughing woman with blood-red lips and oversized sunglasses. "Try not to stand in the way next time," she snapped, her voice sugar-coated with cruelty, before speeding off. Emma stood frozen. Her throat tightened, but she didn't let the tears fall. She simply pulled her bag closer and kept walking. Across the street, a black town car sat in silence. Behind its tinted glass, Ethan Cole watched. He'd seen it all, every second of the humiliation, the splash, the sneer, the shame. He recognized the woman in the SUV, Vanessa Johnson, a walking fashion brand and daughter of real estate royalty, known for her charm in public and pride in private. What she didn't know was that today, someone saw everything, and Ethan wasn't the type to let injustice slide. He picked up his phone. "Find out who she is," he said coolly. "The one who got splashed. I want her full story." At Crownville Towers, Emma slipped in through the staff door, dripping and dirty. Her once fresh uniform now stained in brown blotches. Her hair, a cascade of natural coils, clung wet to her cheeks. "Emma, you're late," barked Mr. Clark, her supervisor. "And what on earth happened to you?" I got splashed. I tried—" "No excuses," he cut her off. "Get inside. The ballroom needs to shine before guests arrive." She nodded, lips pressed shut, and headed for the janitor's closet. No one offered help. Some coworkers exchanged looks. Others just turned away. She changed into a backup shirt, tied her hair into a puff, and grabbed her mop like it was armor. Her body moved, but inside, she was drowning. Her little sister would still be asleep, curled in the one bed they shared in West Pine. Emma couldn't afford to lose this job, not with rent due and no safety net. So she kept cleaning. Across town, inside a glass tower in the heart of downtown, Ethan flipped through the file his assistant had brought in. Emma Davis, 23, 2 jobs, lost her mom 2 years ago, lives with her younger sister. He stared at her photo. Emma, smiling gently beside a child, hand resting on the girl's shoulder like a promise. "She didn't deserve that," he murmured. His assistant paused. "Want me to intervene?" Ethan's gaze lingered on the image. "Not yet," he said. "Let's see who Vanessa really is." Every movement hurt. Emma's back ached with every bend, her knees stiff from hours of standing. But she didn't complain. With every swipe of the mop, she whispered to herself, "Just one more day. Just get through today." Around noon, she slipped behind the hotel, out of view, to eat alone. Her lunch, a slice of bread, a bottle of water. She sat on a cracked crate, unwrapping the meal with trembling fingers. That's when he passed. Ethan, in a hoodie and sunglasses, walked by the main entrance. He paused, pretending to check his phone, but his eyes were locked on her. The way she took small, careful bites. The way she glanced at her screen, probably checking for a message from her little sister. No makeup, no shield, just quiet dignity. She reminded him of someone, his mother. The strength, the silence, the refusal to ask for help. He turned and walked away, but a plan had already taken root. She doesn't know it yet, he thought, but her story's about to shift. The next morning, Emma packed her sister's lunch and tied her sneakers before sending her off with a kiss. Be good today, okay? You too, Emmy, Olivia smiled. Emma took the bus, her backup uniform still damp with yesterday's stains, the only clean one still soaking in a bucket at home. At Crownville, she opened her locker and froze. A paper bag waited inside. She looked around, no one watching. She opened it slowly, a fresh pair of gloves, a foil-wrapped sandwich still warm, and a note. For the girl who works with grace, even when the world is unkind. Emma stared at the words. She hadn't tasted a warm breakfast in weeks. Her lips curved, just slightly. For the first time in days, she smiled. Downtown, Ethan watched from his office, a hotel camera feed flickering on his monitor, one he legally accessed through a corporate security deal. He saw her reaction and nodded. Small steps, he whispered. That afternoon, Vanessa Johnson sat on a daytime talk show, smiling for the cameras as she showed off her new designer bag. The host praised her effortless elegance, but the moment the cameras cut, her mask slipped. My coffee was cold, she snapped. Fire the new girl. No one dared challenge her. That was Vanessa's world, cold, sharp, and spotless. But change was coming. That evening, Ethan made a quiet call. Promote her, he said to the hotel's regional manager. There was hesitation. She's just a cleaner. She's not just anything, Ethan replied, his voice sharp. Emma was sweeping the grand lobby when the head supervisor approached. Emma Davis? He asked, glancing at his clipboard. She straightened. Yes, sir. You've been reassigned. VIP floor maintenance. Starting tomorrow. Better pay. Less mess. She blinked. Are you sure? I never applied. It's approved. Congratulations. She bowed her head. Thank you, sir. Whispers followed her as she walked away. VIP? Her? She must know someone. Emma heard them all but said nothing. That night she told Olivia the news. Her sister hugged her tight. See? Good things do happen. Ethan kept watching, never speaking, but always near. He visited the hotel more often now, in different clothes, a stranger in plain sight. He watched her kindness, her composure, the way she treated every guest like royalty, even when no one treated her the same. And then, Vanessa received an envelope. Inside, a photo. Grainy but unmistakable, her SUV, the splash, Emma's face mid-shock. A sticky note attached. Not everyone forgets. Vanessa's smile dropped, her hands clenched. What kind of sick joke is this? She tore the note in half, but the damage had already begun. Vanessa tore the photo in half and tossed it, but something lingered, tight in her chest. For the first time, she didn't feel untouchable. Back at the hotel, Emma found another note tucked in her locker. Keep shining. The world sees you, even when others pretend not to. She stared at it, confused, but moved. Whoever was behind these gestures, they weren't trying to hurt her. They were lifting her. And quietly, she let herself hope. Her first day on the VIP floor felt like stepping into another world. The scent of fresh orchids hung in the air, the carpets thick and silent beneath her shoes. Everything was polished to perfection, and under her hands, it stayed that way. From a nearby lounge, a man behind dark sunglasses watched her. Ethan. Casual again, hidden in plain sight, a newspaper shielding his gaze. He admired how she worked, her focus, her gentle smile, even when no one acknowledged her. Then he stood. Excuse me, he said. Could you point me to the Sky Lounge? Emma turned, her voice warm. Yes, sir. I'll walk you there. As they walked, he asked, How long have you been here? Almost 2 years, she said. It's not easy, but it pays the bills. Do you enjoy it? She paused. I don't think anyone dreams of mopping floors, but I try to do my best. He stopped. You don't just do your best. You shine. She gave a quiet laugh. Thanks. I think. He said nothing more, just watched her walk away. That afternoon, Vanessa sat across from her father in a luxury restaurant, swirling untouched wine. Someone's targeting me, she said, her voice tight. A photo. Whispers online. It's like a campaign. Her father stayed calm. Or maybe, he said, someone's just holding up a mirror. I haven't done anything wrong, she insisted. But deep down, she knew better. There were names, faces, moments she never looked back on. At the hotel, Emma opened her locker to find a small bouquet. No note, just kindness. Someone was watching, but not to judge, to help. But her quiet rise didn't go unnoticed. Some whispered in admiration, others turned cold. Tina, a senior cleaner of 6 years, watched with narrowed eyes. She's barely been here and she's already on the VIP floor. She's got to be playing someone. Emma felt the stares, the silence when she entered a room. But she kept working, flawlessly. That day, Ethan returned again. This time, he requested Emma's section by name. She was sent to clean a private lounge, but when she entered, Ethan was already there. No cleaning needed, he said kindly. I just wanted to thank you for your kindness the other day. I was just doing my job, sir, she replied softly. He leaned forward. If you could do anything, what would it be? She hesitated. I'd study hospitality, maybe manage a place like this. But school costs money, and right now, I'm surviving. He listened. Every word, stored. Later that night, Tina slipped into the supply room. She swapped Emma's cleaning solution with a slippery chemical. The next morning, a guest fell in the lobby. Who cleaned here last? The manager shouted. Emma was called in, accused. Her voice trembled. I swear I didn't do anything wrong. No one listened, except one person. Ethan had already requested the CCTV footage. What it showed stunned them all. Tina switching the bottles clear as day. The manager looked pale. Emma, I'm so sorry, you're cleared. She walked out of the office, silent, shaken, but stronger than ever. Emma walked out of the manager's office cleared of blame, but the tears still burned in her eyes. Relief, pain, disbelief. They all tangled inside her. From across the lobby, Ethan watched. She doesn't even know I saved her, he thought. But one day, she will. Vanessa sat scrolling through her feed when she froze. A photo, her SUV, blurry but recognizable. Caption. Some people think money erases manners. Hundreds of shares, thousands of likes. Her face wasn't in it, but the internet was piecing things together. Who's spreading this trash? She barked. Her assistant hesitated. Maybe you should apologize, Vanessa scoffed. To a street cleaner? I don't even remember her face. But cracks had formed, hairline fractures in her confidence that hadn't been there before. Back at the hotel, things were shifting. Emma's name had been cleared. Managers nodded in passing now. A few co-workers even smiled. Tina. Suspended. Emma didn't hold a grudge, but she didn't forget either. That afternoon, as she arranged flowers in the lobby, a familiar voice interrupted. You again, she said, half laughing. You really like this hotel. I like seeing things grow, Ethan replied. She tilted her head. You're not just a guest, are you? He smiled. You're smart. Then extended his hand. Ethan Cole. Cole Estates. I help oversee this place. Emma's jaw dropped. The Ethan Cole? I'm just Ethan, he said gently. And I've been watching. He raised his hands, playful. Not in a creepy way. Emma laughed, nervously. I saw what happened that morning. The car. The mud. The way you kept walking. Her smile faded. You didn't deserve it, he said. And I couldn't forget. Emma looked at him, unsure what to say. You don't have to, he added. Just know. I see you. That night she walked home in silence. But her heart raced. Not with fear, but with hope. Someone powerful had finally seen her. Not as a cleaner, not as a background face, but as someone who mattered. Still, doubt crept in. Maybe this kindness would fade like everything else. The next morning, a white SUV pulled up beside her. Vanessa. She lowered her sunglasses. You're Emma, right? Emma stepped back, cautious. Yes. You've caused quite the stir, Vanessa said coolly. Now everyone thinks I'm a villain. I didn't do anything, Emma replied. You didn't have to. Playing the victim works. I never wanted pity, Emma said, voice firm. I just wanted to work in peace. Vanessa laughed coldly. You think Ethan sees you? He's like every rich man. He'll get bored. Don't mistake attention for love. She drove off, leaving a trail of perfume and poison. Later, in the hotel cafe, Ethan waited. When Emma arrived for her break, he slid a folder across the table. What's this? She asked. A scholarship, he said. Full training in hospitality. Starts next month. You'd still work here part-time, if you'd like. Emma's hands trembled. Why me? Because you never asked for anything, he said softly. But you deserve everything. Tears welled in her eyes. Across the lobby, unseen, Vanessa watched. The girl she splashed wasn't just standing. She was rising. Watching you reminded me of my mother, Ethan said softly. She was a cleaner too, raised me on her own, never complained. Emma turned, surprised. You've never mentioned her. Because people like to believe I built myself, but the truth is, women like you build everything. The next day, during the monthly staff meeting, the hotel announced Emma's scholarship. Applause filled the room. Even those who once whispered, now clapped. Her quiet strength had earned more than a title. It had earned respect. But not everyone clapped. Vanessa stormed into her father's office, heels clicking like gunshots. Why is everyone talking about her? She snapped. She's just a cleaner. Ethan's handing her scholarships like she's royalty. Her father calmly set down his pen. Because she earned it. Vanessa's jaw clenched. All of it, he added. The respect, the recognition, and you still have some growing up to do. For once, Vanessa said nothing. That evening, Ethan walked Emma home. The street was quiet, lined with soft light and early shadows. They talked, they laughed, and when they reached her door, it creaked open. Olivia, Emma smiled. What are you doing out here? I heard you laughing, the little girl beamed, running into her sister's arms. Then her eyes shifted to Ethan. Is he your friend? Ethan crouched to her level. Hi, Olivia. I've heard so much about you. Emma held her close. She's my everything. Ethan watched them, two sisters standing strong, and something inside him shifted. At the gate, he turned to her. Emma, he said, voice low. This started with mud, but maybe it ends with something beautiful. Her heartbeat quickened. Maybe, she whispered. It's just the beginning. Word of Emma's journey began to spread. A local blog ran the headline, From Mud to Merit, the cleaner who inspired a billionaire. It went viral. She hadn't asked for fame, just a chance. But now, people everywhere were watching. At work, she walked taller, quieter, yes, but steady. At school, she excelled. Professors praised her dedication. Ethan still visited, but kept a respectful distance. Still, it was obvious. He was falling for her, and Vanessa could see it too. Driven by bitterness, she paid a shady blogger to run a false story, claiming Emma had chased Ethan for his wealth, that it was all planned. The headline spread like wildfire. Emma saw it during lunch. Her heart sank, whispers returned. Eyes narrowed. She left work early, feeling exposed. But Ethan wasn't quiet this time. He called a press meeting the next day. In front of the flashing lights, he spoke clearly. Emma Davis is not a gold digger. She is the most hard-working, honest woman I've ever met. If that threatens you, maybe it's not Emma you're afraid of. Maybe it's your own reflection. The room erupted in applause. Back in her small apartment, Emma watched in disbelief. Her hand covered her mouth. Later that evening, a delivery arrived, one red rose and a note. Let the world whisper. I'll always speak your truth. Ethan. Tears filled her eyes. For the first time in her life, she wasn't just being seen. She was being believed. Emma was no longer just the cleaner. The hotel manager had begun asking for her ideas. Her presence meant something now. Her voice carried weight. Meanwhile, Vanessa's world collapsed. The fake blog post was traced back to her. Her father didn't yell. He didn't have to. You didn't just hurt her, he said coldly. You embarrassed us. He froze her accounts, suspended her from the board. When you learn respect, we'll talk. Vanessa stood in silence. No cards, no staff, just consequences. Back at the hotel, Ethan invited Emma to dinner. Not as a sponsor, but as a man who'd come to admire her heart. He arrived in a simple car, no chauffeur this time. They dined on the rooftop of a quiet bistro overlooking the city. You changed me, Emma, he said, his eyes steady. You reminded me what really matters. She looked down, blushing. I still don't know why you chose me. Ethan reached for her hand. Because in a world full of noise, your silence spoke the loudest. And I heard you. They sat there in the hush between heartbeats, where no music was needed. On the walk home, he stopped at the old roadside. This was where she splashed you, he said softly. Emma looked down at the spot. She covered me in mud. But you planted a seed. Ethan nodded. And now you're blooming. They said no more. They didn't have to. Sometimes, love speaks best in silence. 1 year later, Crownville Towers held its grand 20th anniversary gala. The ballroom shimmered beneath golden chandeliers. Music played. The city's elite gathered. And then she entered. Emma. In a simple sky blue gown. No diamonds, no designer label. She didn't need them. Her grace turned heads. Her confidence turned whispers into applause. She wasn't a cleaner tonight. She was the guest of honor. Ethan stood beside her, beaming. He hadn't proposed yet, but the truth was clear in his eyes. He was hers. When Emma was called to the stage, she stood tall as the hotel director handed her a plaque. For strength, humility, and the spirit that lifted us all. She stepped to the mic. A year ago, I was just a girl walking to work in worn-out shoes, mud on my clothes. I was invisible, until one act of cruelty and one act of kindness changed everything. The room fell silent. I don't stand here because I'm lucky. I'm here because I kept going. Because someone believed in me. Before I could believe in myself. She looked at Ethan. And because kindness is louder than status. Tears glimmered across the room. Even the staff at the back stood taller. Later that night, Emma returned to where her journey began. The road was newly paved. She slipped off her heels and stepped barefoot across it. What are you doing? Ethan asked. She smiled. Leaving behind who I used to be and stepping into who I am now. Without a word, Ethan took off his shoes and joined her. Side by side, barefoot, equal. Together they walked forward, not just as two people in love, but as proof. Even when the world throws mud, a flower can bloom. And sometimes it blooms so brightly, the whole world stops to see.